Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the third episode in the new series I'm doing where I simulate the 6-star locked champions being at a 7-star rank 3 level, and I answer the question, is this champion too strong to be released as a 7-star? We're going to be looking at future Ant-Man today. How am I going to simulate him being at a 7-star rank 3 level? Well, if you've watched any episode in this series, you already know how, so you can just skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp somewhere in the video, but for all the new people here, if you compare a ascended 6-star champion to a 7-star rank 3, you'll notice the rank 3 has a 23% increase in both attack and health. Of course, that's not the only benefits which 7-star gains. They also have the higher challenger rating, which means a higher chance to crit. As you can see here, the 7-star gains just over 100 extra critical rating. But on top of that, they also get another 137 extra critical rating from the stat focus. So a 7-star rank 3 future Ant-Man would be looking at an additional 250 to 300 critical rating, and we can give him that through the Wolverine and Magneto synergy. And then for the 23% increase in attack and health which 7-star rank 3s have, all we have to do is pop on a 20% green boost, and bam, we basically have a 7-star rank 3 future Ant-Man. Of course, this isn't exactly how one would perform, but it gives us a very good idea, and it gives me a opportunity to share my opinion on whether I think he's too strong to be released as a 7-star or not. But with all of that waffle out of the way, let's finally jump into some fights. Remember, this is the CCP test map. Every single defender I fight has the same amount of health as if they were a rank 3 7-star placed on Battlegrounds defense. So our first matchup is Onslaught. Now Fam is metal, so he will take quite a bit of neuroshock damage in this matchup, but if you know the trick to block a single hit of Onslaught Special 1 to get the magnetism debuff on you, a quick celestial secret there for you, then you know you can get free willpower regeneration pretty much the entire fight, so you can finish this fight at high health as long as you don't get hit in the face. And Fam absolutely nukes this matchup at a 7-star rank 3 level. All it takes is a single special 1 into a special 2. Plenty of overkill on that. So let me just make this clear. I do think when Fam gets released as a 7-star, his main value is going to be as a defender. He's incredibly annoying to fight, especially if you get bad RNG and he starts stacking up those armor up buffs. He's going to start glancing you. You do no damage. Oh, it's terrible fighting Fam, especially with bad RNG. A lot of people have forgotten how annoying he is to fight just because he's been 6-star locked, but believe me, when he comes out as a 7-star, he's going to wreak havoc on Battlegrounds. We're going to see him all over the place. He'll be a instant rank 3 for many people just for defense. But don't get it twisted, as you're going to see in this video, he can be a very strong attacker. I was actually streaming yesterday and someone in my chat was saying, we all know Fam is mid on attack, he's not versatile, he's not that great. And it was really surprising to me that a few people actually agreed with him, but nah bro, he is a great attacker, he's very versatile. There's barely any champions that are immune to his type of damage, which is just burst damage of the special 2, disintegration damage. Even if you're fighting a champion that's going to purify your disintegration debuff, your special 2 still does plenty of burst damage, and Fam's damage in general is great. A lot of people don't know how to do the proper rotation with Fam. A lot of people just go for a single special 1 straight into special 2, but you need to know the celestial secrets. There's actually a little tip how to get a second disintegration on your opponent fast before your second special 2. I'll explain that a little later, because now I need to explain how he's actually a bit of a secret bullseye counter. For each armor up Fam has active, he has a 6% chance to glance incoming attacks. He also has a 10% chance to glance attacks whilst he's blocking anyway. So in total, when he's fully ramped up, he has a 70% chance to glance attacks whilst he's blocking. You can actually glance the bleed damage of bullseye special attacks. It's not guaranteed, it's a 70% chance, but this in combination with Fam's power control makes him a pretty safe and reliable bullseye counter. 48-second nuke right there. It feels like there's so many champions that counters bullseye nowadays. Are we actually going to see a bullseye fall off? Is it his time? Maybe, man, but now we're fighting this Photon, and thanks to Fam's power control, he's a pretty great counter to her as well. So how Fam's power control work is, you'll see underneath the opponent they have a little timer on them. When you hit your opponent, that timer will activate, and you need to keep hitting your opponent to make that timer run out. When that timer runs out, your opponent will be inflicted with a power detonation passive, and this power drains them. When you use your special one, that power drains them some more. So he does have pretty strong power control. It's not the strongest in the game, but it is very powerful. Now we got this Zemo, Z-Mid, whatever you want to call him. Not the trickiest defender in the game, right? But I just wanted to show this fight so you could see that even against champions, you can't apply your disintegration debuffs to. His damage is still pretty great, even just spamming special 2s, solid damage there. Each disintegration does increase the burst damage of the special 2, so ideally you do want to go for a special 1 first. But yeah, even against shrug off champions, he's great, and a really incredible piece of utility that Fam has is he actually makes the AI aggressive. So now we know the real reason why Kabam don't want to release him. They don't want to let players have fun. They don't want to let players have nice aggressive AI. No, we can't have that. We can't have nice, reliable, aggressive AI. That's the real reason they haven't released a 7-star Fam yet. So basically, once you get to 7 armors, you will activate your Surgeon Swarm, and this literally acts like Hercules Infuriate, but there's no debuff attached to it. It's actually just a passive on Fam, and this literally just makes the opponent more aggressive while Surgeon Swarm is active, and you can keep this active for the entire match. So for the entire match, you can have super aggressive AI, which is an amazing piece of utility, and it's a big reason why so many people love to play Fam. So I want to explain to you how to get more damage out of Fam's rotation. You can see here I got my second disintegration debuff without having to go for another special one. How did I do that? Well, you know the power detonation thing which I mentioned earlier in the match, that little timer underneath your opponent. When the power detonation is active, as long as you let the timer run out without your opponent using a special attack, you will inflict an additional disintegration. So basically the rotation with Fam is you just want to go for your special one. Make sure your opponent does not throw a special attack when that red timer is active. Let the red timer run out, and then when it's run out, you'll get your second disintegration debuff. Work your way up to your special 2. Wait for the red timer to be active once again, throw your special 2, and with 2 disintegration debuffs on the opponent, pretty much anything is going to get nuked. Another nice thing is Fam's damage is completely reliable. He doesn't really rely on getting good crit RNG. It is nice if you do get it because he gets a attack increase from Surgeon Swarm. So his basic attacks do hit pretty hard if they crit. But now most of his damage is burst damage on the special 2. Of course you don't need good crit RNG for that. We're fighting this Sentinel here, and keep in mind bro, Sentinel reduces the burst damage of our special 2 by 50% when he's at max analysis. So we're missing pretty much half our damage here, and Fam is still able to get this fight down in a very respectable time. I believe it's 60 seconds or just around that, which is a solid time for Sentinel, and Fam has no business doing this fight in the first place, to be honest. But now we need to dive into Fam's signature ability. Now, do I think he'll be a good champion unduped? for attack, he'll be perfectly fine. But honestly, on defense, part of what makes him such a strong defender is that 10% damage cap he has, and he needs his signature ability for this, but he only needs Sig 1. So at a low Sig, Fam will be good to go on defense, but even then, the higher the Sig, the stronger of a defender he's going to be. At max Sig, he reduces bleed and incinerate debuffs by 90%. This obviously reduces the pool of champions that you can use against him, but even at a low Sig, he'll be a great defender. I'm sure he'll still be able to put in some work on defense, even unduped. He still gains those armor up buffs, can still glance you, can still be very annoying, but without the 10% damage cap and without shrugging off bleed and incinerate debuffs 90% faster, I don't see him causing that many issues. He'll still be a pretty great attacker, even unduped though. He's a decent option for Killmonger. This fight is far from his best fight, but as you can see here, he can do it pretty well as long as you know how to play around Killmonger's reverberation. You can see Killmonger's pretty much one of the only champions that can actually survive a 2 disintegration Fam special 2. I'm sure if Fam actually was a 7-star rank 3, that extra 3% increase in attack, which we're missing out on because we're running a 20% boost, I'm sure with that the special 2 would have actually finished off Killmonger there. Against mutant champions though, you don't need to worry about getting the second disintegration debuff. The special 2 is already plenty of overkill even with just one. So all in all, do I think Fam is too strong to be released as a 7-star? Do I think he would break the game? Nah, I don't even think he's on the border of being broken. Don't take that the wrong way. He's a great champion, a incredible champion, and I am terrified of the day I have to fight rank 3 and God forbid rank 4 7-star Fams in Battlegrounds. But I don't think he's too strong, and honestly I have a feeling we're actually going to see a 7-star Fam be released soon. If you've been keeping up with the news, you know Kabam are going to be releasing 6 very strong champions as 7-stars soon. We know the Cosmic class champion is Gallon. We know the Skill class champion is Nick Fury. For the Tech class, it's really between Ghost, Nimrod and Future Ant-Man for OP Tech champions that aren't already 7-stars, and I do think Fam is the most likely champion we're going to see out of those. I don't think we're going to see a 7-star Ghost even with the power back boost nerf anytime soon. A 7-star Nimrod, I don't see why that can't happen, but I think 7-star Fam is so much more hype right now, and I think overall Fam is a lot more valuable than Nimrod, and I would be a lot more excited to see him, so I hope it's him. Oh, by the way, I know I'm showing this thing matchup here, but low-key, Fam isn't too great for this matchup. His power control can make it pretty hard to manage things rock stacks. Really easy to mess up in this fight, but if you can manage everything, then yeah, it goes smoothly. Can nuke him in pretty much a single special 2. We're going to be moving on to the last fight of the video after this against Arcade. Now pretty much all of Arcade's defensive mechanics come from him using a special attack, so of course Fam's power control a big help in this matchup. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I am on the road to 10k subscribers right now. That's actually been my goal since I started this channel, so if you're not already subscribed, I would massively appreciate it if you could hit that button and leave a like as well whilst you're at it. It all helps support the channel and it helps me pay my water bill. But yeah man, that's it from me. Leave a comment of which 6-star locked champion you want to see me make a video on next. See you all in the next one.